Hello everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo 3, the Ultimate Driving Simulator, where last time we were able to complete our very first rally challenge. We got a one-time only car out of it that I decided to sell for money because it's not particularly better than what we have right now. And so now we're able to get the pool of credits back up to a nice respectable 102,000, and we're going to increase that some more. Because we're going to go back into the beginner league. We're not going to do any more rally races for the moment, at least, because we have something that we can do real quick that I am assuming is going to be absolutely the biggest breeze in the world. I feel like this Lancer is going to be so wildly overpowered for this that I could probably give the opposition like a 20-second head start, maybe even 30 seconds, and still win the race. I think I might do that, actually. I think I want to kind of test the waters here and see if I can get away with giving the opposition a 30-second head start. Oh my god. Yeah, we could totally do that. I'm totally going to try that. If I lose this race, it'll be so funny. Oh boy. Well, here we go. That is what we're going to do. We're going to give them approximately about, I say, to be on the safe side, we'll give them 25 seconds. I normally never do this kind of thing, but you know, I feel so confident in my ability here with how powerful this car is that I should be able to close this gap by the end of the race. It should be okay. As I'm sitting here just like taking a drink of coffee, doing a crossword puzzle in the car, eating a sausage McMuff, and then we go! Alright, well that looks pretty sizable, but I think we'll be able to close this thing down pretty quickly, all things considered. Just this one straightaway alone will allow us to cover so much ground on them. Because I don't feel like their cars are very quick. And I'm almost positive that I'm still equipped with those rally tires right now, so if I end up having to drive through the grass a little bit, it's actually not going to impede my progress at all. Let's see how much we shaved off in just this first checkpoint alone. We broke 15 seconds worth of that in one checkpoint. Oh my god. That is priceless. I feel so bad for these guys. Like they came out here with, with these cars that they've poured their heart and souls into for an unspecified amount of time, and they're like, alright, it's a beautiful kind of overcast Sunday morning, and I'm gonna take my car out of the garage, and I'm gonna head to Midfield Raceway, and I'm gonna get a chance to, win some serious cash for little Jimmy's, for little Jimmy's college fund for when he gets older. And I think that with all the work that I've sunk in here and all those late nights at the shop and being able to open up that separate account that my wife doesn't know about, that I can, build up my car for this, I think I got a really good chance of winning. And then this Lancer comes in, and they're just like, oh, Christ, this is awful. How unfair. How do they say there's no restrictions for what you can do with cars in here? I mean, I'm not a billionaire, God. But then they get that false sense of security that, oh my God, maybe he fell asleep at the wheel. The race started and he's still sitting there. And it's been like almost 30 seconds. We got a good chance, guys. And right as they come around that final stretch of lap number 1, they're just like, ah, damn it. I thought I had it. What is he having there? Are they using rocket fuel and NOS? I thought those things were no restrictions. Damn it. I even had the rocket fuel in my hand, but I thought that, maybe that would have been a little too much. Not to mention, I don't think that my puny little Nissan 240SX could really handle the idea of having rocket fuel and NOS in it. Maybe the NOS, but not the rocket fuel. It's just a really bad idea overall. And now we're going to win this thing by probably close to 10 seconds. Maybe like 5. Like 5, yeah. Maybe 6. Maybe 7, who knows. But even despite giving them that wide ass margin, still blew it wide open. Yeah. How many seconds? 5 seconds. That's actually a really good guess. 5.048. You have only slightly overbid. I actually watched The Price is Right the other day, and a guy comes on and he does, they're at the final showcase showdown thing where you got to bid on your thing, and he comes up there and it was like an SUV and a couple other things, and he bets like 26,000. It was like 26,000 on the button, and when Drew Carey comes out, which is still so weird to say Drew Carey comes out, not Bob Barker. He comes out to, give him, the pricing or whatever. He says, you bid 26,000 on this, and the actual retail price was, like 25,000 something. Or no, it was 26,000. It was 26,000 like $262. And so he underbid it by like 260 something bucks, which I think, if I remember the rule correctly, if you can nail it within $250, you get both showcases. And so he just barely missed it. Like, that's so nuts. Oh man, I would have, obviously I would have been super pumped for that if I were that guy, because he obviously was going to win his showcase, but I would have been so pissed that I missed winning both showcases by just like 20 bucks. 20 bucks was the only thing that separated him from that. Like, that is such a bummer. Oh well, what are you gonna do? So yesterday, me and my lady, we both had the day off, and so we decided, we haven't been able to go down to the beach for quite a while, and even though the weather was absolutely terrible, we decided we were gonna go to the beach, and we were gonna go to Moe's and get some clam chowder, and then check out like the outlet malls, because we wanted to go to Newport, but the weather was just so shitty. I mean, it was just raining sideways, and it was windy, and didn't even actually get to go out on the beach because the weather was just so god awful. But while we were on the way there, it's almost like people that are driving, like, they know when you're trying to be somewhere, and they love to piss you off by driving excessively slow in one lane roadway situations, so you can't pass them at all because there's like a barrier in the middle, so you can't do the little, well, I'm gonna slam on the gas and go around you because you're a piece of shit kind of thing. And like, I already had a little bit less patience because I had to wake up at such an ungodly hour. It is an hour that will bring any man to his knees. It is a moment in the morning that the asshole of the world spreads its cheeks, also known as the butt crack of dawn, that is known as 8 a.m. Dun 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 dun. It wasn't that bad. Like, I was tired, but I eventually woke up. But on the way there, like, we're driving, and these old-ass people, and I mean, they were like the oldest living people, the oldest living organisms in the entire world. Like, they were, probably survived the Ice Age and whatnot. And they're driving, like, seriously, it felt like 25 miles below the speed limit. And so sometimes when I get people that piss me off like this, I'll create identities for them so I can identify them in my own mind and make up stories about them. And so this was the story that I created of Carol and Stan, the people in the old-ass piece of shit Dodge Caravan that was driving in front of us. And I was telling this, to Michaela while she was driving, and I swear to God, I thought she was gonna wreck the car because she was just dying laughing over this. But I was like, "Come on, Carol and Stan, get the fuck out of the way!" Like, I get it. You've been driving like 2.5 hours to get here because you want to go blow your entire pension on the same slot machine that you're gonna sit in front of for the entire time you're there. You're gonna pass out because you both have terrible narcolepsy. And and then you're gonna jolt yourself awake, and one of you's gonna have a heart attack, and then you're gonna but you'll end up being fine because you'll have had your Bayer brand aspirin in your pocket there, and you'll slam a couple of them. You'll be fine. You'll eventually go into the cafeteria where you both end up passing out over your extremely cold cups of soup. Carol wanted to have chicken corn chowder, by the way, but Stan was the bold man. He was the man that wanted to go with the minestrone, but then he realized that he was allergic to half the ingredients in it without knowing, and then he puffed up like an insane, wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man they have outside of used car dealerships, and it turned into a real nightmare there. And like, I was just kind of just rolling with stuff off the top of the head, and she was dying, dude. It was so funny. I loved it. But they were just driving so slow, and I couldn't handle it. I was getting, like, excessively more upset the more I was talking about the story, and so I was just, like, injecting, like, it's like, you guys get the fuck out of here. I know you're gonna get in there, you're gonna blow all your money, and Stan's gonna leave you, and then he's gonna drive all the way back home and listen to Stardust for, like, 2 hours because it's the only thing that they have in the car because they don't know how to use a radio. They just have this one thing on cassette that they had since 1948, even though cassettes weren't even around then. But they found a way to get it through some type of future technology that the aliens beamed down into their weird, musty-smelling basement. There's that. And then I can't forget about the other guy that was impeding our lives on the way home, that I will call Carpet Carl in his monster truck. It wasn't an actual monster truck like, you know, the gravedigger that you would see at your local basketball arena that they covered in dirt and hills for a while, that about 178 people show up to. Like, do people actually really still go to, like, those monster truck shows that they hold? Like, I went to one when I was like 10, and I don't remember there being a ton of people there when I was 10. So in a time now where, like, people never really want to go to things anymore, where they just want to, like, watch it all on the internet or stream it or whatever, like, do people actually still tangibly go to those things? Like, I don't feel like I know whether that actually happens or not. We're doing R11 right now. I did not know. So yeah, there was that, but he wasn't actually driving a monster truck. It was actually just, like, this really shitty, oh god, I gotta sneeze. It was actually just, like, this really shitty, like a Toyota pickup truck that was like it was like this disgusting, like, dirty as hell. I haven't washed it since, you know, like, summer of '97, like, off-white. And it had, like, 2 busted out tail lights in the back, and he was also driving abnormally slow, and so I started making up a little story for him that he was Carpet Carl, which Carpet Carl is actually a real person that exists here in Oregon. He was like the carpet guy that I believe worked for Marion's Carpets, and they had this terrible, terrible, but totally awesome jingle that was always on their commercials. We buy more so you pay less at Marion's Carpets. And he always wore, like, these crazy ass, like, Craig Sager level like, blazer jackets that were just, like, the loudest and most obnoxious looking jackets that were totally amazing. So yeah, he is a real person, but I just decided to throw him into the situation with this, you know, beat to shit Toyota pickup with his disgusting off-white color that you know, he hasn't washed it in about 2 decades or so, because he was under the impression by, you know, some unnamed guy at the bar that had been slamming Jaeger bombs, like, all evening, that this is how you pick up all the bitches, you know. And so he figured, well, you know, I'm gonna leave my truck uncleaned and, you know, untaken care of for close to 20 years, because that lovely off-white color, according to this man, is the way that you pick up on all the sluts. I mean, how could a 57-year-old single man like myself, with such a divine vehicle as this, that is missing 2 taillights, how would I not have all the women lining up outside of my rustic, beaten-down trailer home? How would they not be lining up for a piece of the Carlmeister, you know? I mean, I could take them out to Hometown Buffet, and I could pay for all of my dinner and about 1/3 of hers, and so she'll have to pay for the rest of her own meal, and then we'll both have a very, very awkward meal where only I am talking, and she is just mortified by everything I'm speaking of, because she finds out that I am literally the scariest human being that has ever walked the face of the earth, and then she will notify the authorities after I have an incredibly tense moment of dropping her off at least about a mile away from where she lives, because she can no longer withstand the tension of being in the same vehicle as me. It would the awkward index was so high and so dense that you could have poured that over a fine stack of pancakes, and it would have been so rich and full that you would have only been able to have 2 bites of it before you would have gone clinically insane. And yeah, these entire situations that I built up were literally all just because a guy was driving too slow, and, you know, we wanted to get away from it. But both of these situations, we had no availability to do it because Oregon is very fond of having these extremely long, you know, like one-lane roads that, you know, that extend for just stratified miles upon miles going in any one direction. Like this one, you know, the first one, it just went for miles upon miles going towards the beach. And so if it's really bad traffic, it's going to take you forever to get there. And on the way back, I mean, you got to just take the other direction doing the same thing. And it sucks because not only was it pouring down rain, but it was foggy and a little bit windy. And so everybody in Oregon, even though, you know, this type of weather is extremely common, like nobody knows how to drive in it. It's the same situation. It's the same situation with rain. It's the same situation with snow. Pretty much any weather that's not just beaming sunshine. Like, you would think that everybody that lives here are Californians at heart, that just have no ability to drive in this stuff. Like, as soon as it's raining, everybody just, it's almost like they feel like it's acid rain and the apocalypse is underway outside. They're just like, dear sweet God, this is gonna be it. It's gonna dissolve the windshield and it's going to erode my face away. You know, it's like just put the car in drive, get it into 4th gear, and just go. It's a straight drive. Beatrice, just move it, you know? I mean, I know you want to get home to watch the wheel, but you're not going to get there if you're driving 45 in a 60, you know? Just put the damn thing in the damn thing. You can't win with these people. But in the long run, the day was awesome because we got to go to Moe's, which is a fine chowder place. But you know what? They're actually, like, totally starting to screw you over in the amount of clam chowder they give you. Like, I got the Slumgolian. She got this, like, this crab melt, which, holy shit, it was so good. I've never had that before, but I know the next time I'm going there, I'm totally getting that, because it was money. I got this thing called the Slumgolian, which is, it's their clam chowder inside of those huge-ass bread bowls, and then they put, like, little tiny, like, baby shrimp in there, and oh my god, it's so good. But it used to be, because I've gone there tons of times in my life, and it used to be that you could go there and you get their clam chowder and it was just so good. And I'm not saying that it's bad, but now, like, they're trying to find ways to give you less chowder because we're in a recession, and they just load that shit up with potatoes, man. They put so much potatoes in there that it's not even like your classic clam chowder anymore. It's just like, it's like potatoes with clam chowder. And it really kind of sullied it for me a little bit. Like, was it still good? Oh yeah, it was great. But I remember, like, after the first 2 bites that I took, I was like, there's a lot of potatoes in here. This is not your grandfather's clam chowder. I can tell you that. It just seems a little weird. But yeah, man, it was great. It was an awesome day. I love being able to have days like that. And we'll probably have more days like that, and we'll have plenty more stories that I could tell you about it. And you know what? Maybe one of these days soon, I will bring her on, and we'll both be able to recap the experience for you, because it's fun that way. So, my friends, we're going to stop right here. We have reached our point of imminent destruction, also known as time. And when we come back on the next episode of Gran Turismo 3, the Ultimate Driving Simulator, I gotta figure out exactly what it is that we're going to do. We could do another rally event, even though I don't know if I'm quite ready for it yet. We gotta do, I mean, I could choose a number of different ways to do this. We don't have to technically do them in chronological order. And Tahiti Maze is just so hard. I am not good at that track. I am terrible at it. So, we could do the Smoky Mountain Rally. We could do the Swiss Alps. We could do the Tahiti Challenge of Rally 2, which is just doing that backwards. We could even try the Super Special Route 5 ones. I would be perfectly okay on doing those, because that I would probably have a better shot at being good at. Because it's just doing a regular track that doesn't involve you sliding around like a madman, at least within reason. So we might do those. We might check those out. Otherwise, the other things that we could still do, there is still the Myrrh Challenge, and we may have our frankincense ready to go for that. We do need to do the Stars and Stripes Challenge, which I think that we're in pretty good shape for that. There's still the Legend of the Silver Arrow. We'll have to figure that one out. There is still the Type R meeting, there's still the Beetle Cup, and then there's the World Championship. So, we'll have to figure that out. I think the Beetle Cup might not be a bad one to do, despite the fact that we gotta spend $1 billion on that damn thing, on that higher model one that just inexplicably costs so much for some reason. But yeah, we'll figure that out, so when we come back, we'll do that. If you enjoyed the video, tap the like button. It helps me out a whole bunch. Really helps me know how you guys are enjoying the series so far. And if you do want to see more, do hit subscribe, because I will be posting plenty of these in due time. I'm really enjoying this, man. I hope you guys are having as much fun with it as I am. And until then, my friends, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody. Take it easy.